Hey guys, with the 8th generation of consoles in full swing, leave it to Nintendo to switch it up. Yes, today's thought is about the Nintendo Switch. I stayed up really late to watch the Nintendo Switch reveal, and I gotta say, I'm really psyched for this console, with a few stipend. First, let me tell you my thoughts about the console itself. I really liked the run-through at the beginning of the show where they showed how the Switch is sort of a amalgamation, a history of Nintendo consoles. The extra buttons on the Super Nintendo, the joystick of the N64, or the motion controls of the Wii. I like the all-encompassing console that Nintendo's pitching here, whether you're playing on the go, at home, or anything in between. At the end of the day, Nintendo is not going to win any battles or wars in the console war of everything with pure processing power, so they have to think outside the box. When it comes to storage, the initial console only launches with a 32GB edition. Now, that might seem a little small, but if you have a microSD card, you can bump that up a bit. When it comes to on-the-go play, we've been told that the range will be from 3 to 6 hours depending on what you are playing. Now that's actually excellent when you compare it to the Vita or the 3DS, which I see run about 4 hours per playtime. But the USB port on the home console of the Switch means if you have a USB battery pack, you got more game time there. The Joy-Con controllers look like they took basically every Nintendo controller under the sun, threw it into a blender, and hit pulse, and there you go. I think the console controllers look great on their own, or when they're connected to the actual console itself, or the controller grip that you're getting. The only thing I don't like is the controller grip that we're being given in the initial package is not a charging grip. That's being sold separately. Now, the Joy-Cons do charge when they're connected to the home console themselves, but the fact that they're charging separately for a charger grip is a little devious, but this is nowhere near as bad as that time that they gave the new 3DS without any sort of charging cable at all. The online service for the Switch has been a bit of a source of concern for me. Right off the bat, they've said it's going to be a paid service. Now, Nintendo's always been a little touchy with their online service, never being nearly as uniform or as good as their competitors. Basically, they're saying from fall 2017 on, the service is going to be paid. That will come with voice chat and a free monthly game download. I have a bit of an issue with the voice chat. It's being run through a smartphone app by Nintendo versus a traditional wired or Bluetooth connection. I feel like they're making it more complicated than it really needs to be. When it comes to the monthly game download, it's a nice nod to what PlayStation Plus or Games with Gold do, except you only get to keep that one monthly download for the month it's available. You don't get to keep it for as long as you have the service, which feels a little cheap. However, it's a bit of good news that reports are coming out that the yearly cost will range somewhere in the $30 area. So if that's true, it may seem like a slightly inferior service, but the price might be right. Overall, I like the console. However, I feel it's a wee bit overpriced. We're not getting some sort of graphical behemoth. We're not getting any bundled games. We're missing a few items here and there, such as a charging grip, and we don't know a lot about the online service. Overall, I think it leaves a little bit to be desired. Doesn't help the fact that the launch lineup, outside of Zelda, is a little lackluster. And come on, Nintendo, 1-2 Switch? That's a cutesy shovelware game that's meant to show off what the console can do. I would not be shocked that within the next year, they don't release 1-2 Switch with an extra pair of Joy-Con controllers, similar to how Wii Play and Nintendo Land had an extra Wiimote. Now, delving into some more games, let's look into a source of frustration for many Nintendo fans. Nintendo has been adamant that the Switch is going to be receiving lots of third-party support. Now, recent release of Resident Evil 7 and Mass Effect Andromeda, two big AAA titles taking a pass at the system, does not inspire great confidence. However, if you look at this amazing collage and a couple trailers that they showed at the conference, you know, there's a lot of support being thrown at the Switch, so I'm hoping that they do get a little more third-party support than their previous, systems. However, people don't come to Nintendo for third-party titles. It's first-party. Now, the launch window might not be blowing everyone away, but if you look at the first year after release, it looks quite impressive if they stick to their guns. Mario Odyssey, oh my god, it looks gorgeous! Gorgeous! It's the 3D hub world Mario that everyone who owned a Wii U was crying out for. Splatoon was a fantastic IP, a new IP for Nintendo for I don't know how long it took them to come up with a new IP, but you look at Splatoon, it was a great success. A fun third-person shooter that took things not too seriously and did things a little differently. A sequel on the Switch looks like it's going to be a blast. Speaking of new IPs, ARMS looks like it'll be a ton of fun to play. It looks like it might be a little content light, and maybe it should have been released with the launch window and even bundled with the console, but it still looks like it'll be something interesting and different to play. We got news of a new Fire Emblem. It looks like there might be a new F-Zero in the works. No More Heroes. Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I'm pretty sure I named more games than I actually own on my Wii U. Though I have my misgivings on the Switch, I gotta admit, I've actually pre-ordered it for one thing. Zelda. Zelda! A brand new Zelda. Genius. Them launching a new Zelda on the Switch is going to move units. A brand new Zelda in open world with an interesting story, and for the first time voice acting, it's going to drive Zelda addicts such as myself nuts. Now, I also have to say I appreciate the fact that they are releasing it also on the Wii U for those who are not ready to upgrade yet. When it comes down to it, I believe for the Switch to be successful, Nintendo needs to consistently be pumping out these amazing first-party, little sprinklings of third-party as well, titles in a consistent manner, not leaving giant lulls. You can't have the launch window and then not release anything great for 8 months, just hoping everyone's going to still be playing Zelda. The online service, I hope it ends up being good and that it's a lesser cost than its competitors. I really like the console design. I think it's sleek, I think it's cool, and I love the concept of the all-encompassing game system. Now, if you are not a huge Zelda addict like myself, I believe it would be worthwhile waiting a few months till more details of the online service, more release dates come out, just see how things fare. But at the end of the day, I think that Nintendo has released a system with a lot more potential than that of the Wii U. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time on Jesse Dark Gaming.